Hello, everybody. I'm Ahmad Awais, and today I'm going to be talking about COVID 19, or VID-19, is how I like to call it, because then people take it more seriously, just like AIDS, VID, VID-19. It's also why I'm wearing a mask, and you should definitely wear a mask when you go outside, or just stay at home. And now I'm going to take it off since I'm already home. I'm super excited to be here for GitHub Stars Nova 2020 conference. Let me just go ahead and introduce myself. So I'm Ahmad Awais, and I love creating open source software. I've created hundreds of open source software libraries used by millions of developers out there. It is also why I have been recognized as a GitHub Star, DigitalOcean Navigator, Google Developers Expert, and I also serve on the Node.js community committee as their outreach lead. I use Twitter as my mini blog where I share hashtag #OneDevMinute developer tips. So if you're interested in my fleets, tweets, or developer rants, definitely go ahead and follow me at Mr. Ahmad Awais. But enough about me already. Today, I'm going to be talking about a CLI called Corona CLI that I created in 2020 that has completely gone viral, pun intended. As of today, over 1.3 billion requests has been served to this particular CLI where people are trying to find out and track the updates for COVID 19. So I'd like to say that I have made COVID 19 accessible to billions. Oh, you know what? Maybe scratch that. I didn't make COVID accessible because that would be wrong. I made COVID updates, statistics of COVID accessible to millions of people out there. There are really just three things you need to know about. I love automation. I love the color purple, which is also why I created the Shades of Purple code theme. And about a decade from now, I decided that I'm not going to watch news anymore. I stopped reading, watching, and subscribing to different kind of news. And generally speaking, it has served me really well. But only in 2020, I was not aware of COVID 19 at all. My wife kept telling me COVID 19 is a thing, it's happening. COVID 19 is happening. She kept telling me, and I kept ignoring that COVID 19, right? So, come February 2020, and everything got shut down. I was supposed to be speaking at about 30 or so conferences this year. This was going to be that year where I was going to travel a lot. All of my plans kind of got suspended due to COVID 19. And then, while most of you would already have known what COVID 19 is, how coronavirus was, spreading all over the world, I had no idea. And since I love automation, I kind of struggled a bit finding more about COVID 19, the stats of my country or different countries, or looking at, how it is growing, or looking at different graphs of it. And this was the time when COVID 19 widgets from Google, Facebook, or Twitter were completely non existent. So, generally, to dog food my own need, I created a CLI called Corona CLI, to track COVID 19 via command line. I collected data from about 23 different sources. That included World Health Organization (WHO) and data from John Hopkins and whatnot. And I created this silly little COVID 19 CLI, Corona CLI, that ended up in all sorts of situations. Completely grew viral. I found myself listed on the GitHub trending list as the number one JavaScript developer. My project was listed under the JavaScript trending repositories. GitHub single-handedly helped me get the word out about this project to developers throughout the world. And then something completely amazing happened. While a lot of developers were tracking their COVID data or COVID statistics, Corona CLI, a couple of developers who worked with different hospitals like San Jose Hospital or a couple of hospitals in Nevada, they basically reached out to me and asked if I could probably add different kind of bar charts or line charts in the CLI. And from then on, a lot of hospitals, a lot of medical institutions, a lot of colleges have been using the CLI, through different kind of setups like Raspberry Pi or whatnot, to display data with minimum amount of internet packets needed to display COVID's data and make COVID's data accessible to millions out there. So let's go ahead and take a look at what Corona CLI looks like. So with Corona CLI, you can get worldwide coronavirus disease reporting. You can get the active daily reporting from your country, from US states, and you can get data about countries, cases, deaths, recoveries, active cases, and cases per million, stuff like that. There are also statistics like charts and bar charts that you can plot and sort through all kind of related. So how about we go ahead and install Corona CLI? For that, you need to start by either globally installing Corona CLI, or you can go ahead and run Corona CLI directly using npx Corona CLI. I already have globally installed Corona CLI in my system. Let's go ahead and check it out. If I type in Corona and press enter, it is going to go ahead, show that spinner to me, and bring out data for all 220 different countries throughout the world. In here, you can take a look at different data like country, cases, deaths, recoveries, active cases, people who are critically ill through COVID-19 disease. Moreover, you can request data for just your country, for example, CA for Canada, and this CLI will show data related to your country as well as the total data throughout the world. Now that you know how to request data for all countries and for a single country, how about we go ahead and take a look at other features this CLI offers. For example, requesting the data for different US states. What I'm going to do is I'm going to request data using Corona states for all the US states. And as you can see, all of the data is now plotted. What else we can do is we can sort the data using all of these parameters like cases, deaths, recoveries, or whatnot. So how about we take a look at what is the recovery or best recovery rate throughout the world for COVID-19. I'm going to type in Corona and I'm going to sort it with recovered cases, and then I'm going to limit it to only show me top 10 countries, and then I'm going to limit it to 10 so that we only see the top 10 results. As you can see, these are the countries that have most recoveries throughout the world for this COVID-19 disease: India, USA, Brazil, Russia, Argentina, and whatnot, right? And you can do all kind of fun analysis here. You can sort data through active cases, through cases today, or whatnot. And clearly, that is not all. You can take a look at different kind of data using bar charts or line charts. You can use hyphen hyphen bar or hyphen b plot bar charts, or you can use hyphen hyphen chart to plot line chart. How about we go ahead and do that? So I'm going to use Corona. I'm going to sort by recoveries and then limit it by 10. And then I'm going to ask it to show this data, plot this data using the bar chart. And there you go. Now I can quickly understand what this data means. What is the impact of these recoveries throughout the world? Now, how about we plot similar data using line chart? Imagine you live in Canada and you want to take a look at the line charts data for your COVID-19 stat, which will probably look something like this. Next up, I'm going to request data for USA. I'm going to ask for line chart, and I'm also interested in this chart treated as its logarithmic value. And basically, this is what it looks like: a logarithmic graph for USA's COVID-19 data. And these are all the sources that I use to collect all of this data. Actually, you know what? This all of this data right now exists as an API, and I help a couple of folks collect it and serve it as an API using GitHub. It's even more than that. For example, early on when COVID-19 was a new thing and everyone was a little bit scared, huge amount of developers helped me out create this CLI from what it initially looked like. For example, if you take a look here, there have been over 50 releases of the software. There are about 14 different contributors who have contributed in helping me build this COVID-19 CLI. And even right now, there are 18 different pull requests for all kind of different use cases with 1700 stargates. I believe that Corona CLI have had a huge impact in helping people and making data related to COVID-19 accessible to millions, if not billion people out there. All of the collaboration that helped me make Corona CLI what it is today would not have been possible without GitHub, and this would not have been possible without GitHub and NPM. GitHub helped me collaborate with tens of different developers, helping me prove and introduce new features to the COVID-19 Corona CLI, as well as npmjs.com that helped me distribute this piece of software to tens of thousands of developers out. I would also like to thank Google Cloud Platform for enabling me to provide this data less than 100 millisecond response in a completely free and generous package throughout the world. And that is pretty much about me from my end. If you want to track COVID-19 stats, you should definitely check out Corona CLI project. Just go ahead to your terminal and type in npx corona-cli. and I'll see you later. Bye.